Crypto, and by the way, crypto, nobody understands what it means when you say crypto, because crypto is a word that encompasses meme coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, underlying blockchains, CBDCs, stable coins, level 0, 1, 2, 3 protocols.
Web3.
So if you don't, like, when I say to somebody or somebody says to me, do you think crypto is a fad or something? I'm like, no, you have to unpack that. Because meme coins are like, a form of gambling. Bitcoin is a store of value, will never be a currency from my perspective.
Interesting.
Stable coins are going to explode in popularity. Pretty much most large financial companies are working on them right now. And I think they have the potential to redefine payments, completely redefine payments. And so...
why? Say more. How?
Well, a stablecoin is really a digital representation of fiat currency. And if you think about me paying you on a P2P transaction, the reason most P2P transactions are free is it just goes from, you're using a PayPal service, it goes from one part of my PayPal server farm to another part. It costs me nothing, and we can do that free. With a stable coin, it's all digital as well. The cost of that, you can do stablecoin transactions at 1/1000th the cost of what it costs to do a transaction today. They can be settled instantly, as opposed to taking minutes or hours or days or weeks in some transactions. And they're much more inclusive. You don't need a bank account, you don't need a credit card to get them or a debit card. And so I think, and the US is clearly going to pass stablecoin legislation in the next 3 to 6 months. I had a chance to talk to David Sachs, who, is the cyber czar there. And clearly they believe that, stablecoins that are US dollar denominated and are truly stable. And when I say I mean backed by overnight, cash-based sort of resources, transparent, audited, all of that. But if you have that, and there are stable coins denominated in US dollars, that helps the US dollar going forward. So I think the US has kind of made that pivot. I still think a lot of people in Congress don't really understand crypto yet, but I think those who are working on it have a pretty deep understanding of it. I think you look around the world, you look at Brazil, I think Brazil is could be the leader in the world in terms of digital public goods infrastructure. India, South Korea, Singapore, I think some of the Nordic countries, they're really beginning to take off. The US has to catch up on that. But I think crypto is going to change the underlying rails of the financial system and radically reduce costs, make it more efficient and much more inclusive. And I do think for the fintech world, like our moonshot, like what should inspire us is, I think that we can, there are probably 2 billion people in the world outside the financial system, and probably at least another 2 billion that are poorly served by it. Whereas, people who have less money are charged more for transactions. It's kind of completely backwards. And I think if we implement things the right way, can bring way more people into the system at much less costs. I think financial stability, financial health is like bedrock for how well does our world work together. If you feel financially insecure, you tend to rail against the system, you tend to want to radicalize, and I think we in this room can have one of the more noble missions that I can imagine.
Thank you.